Greetings, goddesses. I'm Leumeria Kumara, and I want to share with you today a workshop that I'm giving. It's coming up on December 12th, 13th, and 14th. And I'm giving this workshop in response to some calls for help that I have been hearing and receiving from my sisters. I know it has been a tough year. It has been like the year unlike any year. You know, I think we can all agree that this year it has been the big life changer. So a lot of you I know have been going through a lot of changes on many different levels, from relationship to job, lifestyle changes, health issues, emotional and mental stress. It's just been running the full gamut. So now that we're approaching the end of the year, things are just going to get more intense, sisters. I'm going to just be honest with you. They're going to get more intense. And the reason for this is because the energy and the frequency on the planet is increasing dramatically. So if we are not prepared to take this energy in and utilize this energy in our lives through our spiritual practice, then we might be feeling we might be experiencing a lot more shift symptoms. Put it that way, because we're going through the shift of the ages. We are in the shift of the ages. We are in the thick of it. So the symptoms that many of us are experiencing or may be experiencing are mostly emotional, but they can be physical also. So we're looking at a lot of depression, lots of anxiety and sense of overwhelm, lots of issues of self-worth and self-love are being pushed into the light for us to take a look at. So this period that we're in right now is all about seeing what's hanging out in the shadows that you need to see. And I know there's been a lot of talk about shadows, but let me just say that essentially the ego self, the personality self, is always in the shadow, because it's always in this state of sort of delusion. It doesn't understand itself as spirit. It doesn't see itself as spirit, right? Our ego self. It sees itself as separate from spirit most all the time. And it also sees the outside world, the manifest world, the world that we create. Yes, we create this exterior reality. But our ego believes that exterior reality is what controls us and what provides us with sustenance, provides us with everything that we need. And that's simply not true. Excuse me. It's not true. Everything that we have comes from source, and it manifests in the outer world as a channel. Our jobs are channels for prosperity to flow through, but they are not the source. Our mates are channels for us to experience shared love, but they are not the source of love and happiness. Excuse me. Money is a channel for divine prosperity to flow through to us, but it is not the source of prosperity. So these are some of the things that you will learn and get greater clarity about in my workshop. Let me say that I said things are going to get more intense as the year comes to a close. And that's because we are at a time period unlike any other time period throughout the history. We are stepping into a new age, goddesses. Truly. I mean, we are moving into from the Piscean age, the end of this 2100-year period, and it's even the end of a bigger time cycle. And we're going to talk about time cycles in my workshop because this is really imperative for you to understand what's happening on the planet and why the energies are so intense right now. But essentially, we are moving very quickly, very rapidly into the age of Aquarius, which is an amazing time to be alive because Aquarius is all about freedom. But you've got to be prepared to step into this age of Aquarius. And so for sisters who are hanging on to, for any of us who are hanging on to obsolete energies, people, things, ideas, belief systems, old long-held emotions that do not serve us, these things are going to start to intensify because they're essentially trying to get our attention, because these are energies that really want to be set free. Remember, I said Aquarius is all about freedom, individual freedom and collective freedom. It's also about unity consciousness. But before we can step into our freedom, we have to let go of the baggage, right? We got to let it go. So everything that's considered baggage in our life, right? Blocks and barriers to our happiness, things that have been standing in our way, connections that we have to people who really aren't serving our higher good, relationships, right? And that can be anything. It can be mating relationships, it can be job relationships, whatever it is, if it's in our life and it's not serving us, that stuff is going to be amplified. So I've been hearing a lot about women going through breakups, relationships falling apart right now, and depending on how dependent you are on love for that person, then it can be a very, very, very painful experience. But let me tell you, sisters, there is no greater love in the universe than the love that you have for self. This is the first love. So, and I'm going to get into this because in my workshop, we're going to dive into Tantric love. This is the path of the divine feminine. This is so powerful and so delicious and so nurturing. This is exactly what those of you who are going through heartache right now, this is what you need. Trust me, this is it. I'm so excited to be able to offer this to you. So I'm going to be teaching Tantra and how what we're going through relates to the change of the times that we're going in through, the shift of the ages, and why and how this shift is affecting everything that's happening in our lives right now, including what's happening in our country and including what's happening on the planet. It's a lot to go into. Also, I am going to teach you the original cosmic alignment. Now, this is about chakra clearing and alignment, about chakra alignment, about chakra clearing, about really getting our 7 chakra system spinning at an appropriate frequency that was meant for us so that we can connect with our higher self, right? We all have a higher self. I was talking about ego and why ego experiences so much pain and suffering, because ego is disconnected from the part of itself that is spirit, the higher self. So the higher self is that part of us that is source creator. You know, we're intricately connected, we're inseparable, but the ego doesn't recognize itself as source. So it's always experiencing pain and heartache because it's disconnected from its own loving self. We are disconnected from our own loving self. So we're going to get into the cosmic alignment. It is the original chakra alignment. It was actually changed. What we learned about chakra alignment is not completely accurate, sisters. It is not the divine feminine original alignment that was taught to us by the mothers. And so I'm going to get into that. I'm going to teach you the cosmic alignment and what it means, how it works, and how you can use that in your daily life to do chakra clearing. When you do chakra clearing, it's clearing out imprints from sexual relationships where you've got parasitic hooks in your energy field, which is one reason why maybe you're feeling like you can't live without that person, you know. So you need to clear your field, you know, and release those hooks. Those hooks belong to someone else. They do not belong to you. So you need to detach that, and we'll talk about that. We'll get into that. The cosmic alignment also opens you up to really connect with your higher self. So when you connect with your higher self, you have access to higher self guidance. You have access to this infinite flow of prosperity. You have access to being a master manifester, so that the things that you create intentionally, you create consciously, intentionally, and you create them for your higher good. And those things come into manifestation really rapidly because you're in alignment. You're in the flow of your true God reality. So it's very beautiful and very powerful alignment posture. And then I'm going to teach you what is called the unified field meditation. This is really, really powerful. It's so beautiful. It is so perfectly aligned with the cosmic alignment and with the basic 101 Tantric practice that I am going to teach you. Tantra is like the most ancient spiritual practice, said to be one of the most ancient spiritual practices. Tantra goes back to ancient Kemet, you know, and it goes back to ancient Leumeria, the name that I walk with. These are like the beginnings of Mother Earth, you know, when Mother Earth was pure feminine energy, teeming with divine feminine energy. And so the spiritual practices that came forth through the mothers, the sacred mothers, were for all people to balance the divine feminine and the divine masculine, so that we can live in harmony within our own consciousness and also with those around us, because we're all inseparable, we're all connected. So Tantra reconnects us to all of life. Tantra brings us back into balance, brings us back into unity consciousness, brings us back into our oneness. It's very powerful. And at the same time, we get to experience that in physical form, in our bodies, not like a lot of other spiritual practices that teach us that, you know, the body can't attain enlightenment, only the spirit can. Tantra says no, the body is spirit. The body is spirit. It's just densified, but we can raise the frequency of the body, and we can return to light body. So the body is every bit a part of spirit. This is all part of the path that we walk as goddesses. This is the depths of learning, of spiritual growth. It's very beautiful. It's like the unfolding of a flower, like a lotus flower that has all these thousands of petals that represent, all these beautiful aspects of us as we step into higher consciousness, as we step into deeply onto our spiritual path. It's very important for us all to walk our spiritual path and walk with the medicine that we came here to walk with. In other words, whatever it is that you came here to do, to shine your light, it's time to discover what that is and to live by it. And when you live by that, all the prosperity in the universe comes flowing to you. You don't have to worry about how you're going to live or where the money is going to come from, because you are connected to the source of prosperity. And you're always staying connected as long as you keep your spiritual practice activated. So this is a really exciting 3-day workshop. And let me say that these are not all-day workshops at all. I'm spreading them out over the 3 days. I think, now this could change, but I want to take advantage of the energetic activations of those days, 12/12, 12/13, and then 12/14 is a new moon solar eclipse. So we will meet probably in the evening on 12/14, so that we can take advantage of that activation. So also, let me say, goddesses, that this workshop is not just for anybody. It's not for everyone, This is for the sisters who are ready to step more deeply onto your spiritual path. Now, if you're a beginner spiritual practitioner, that's fine. This workshop can absolutely be for you. The most important thing is that I want sisters in this workshop who are ready to do the work, because this is for the serious goddess who is ready to really do some serious self-transformation. So because of that, I will be limiting the amount of participants in this workshop, and I will also be interviewing. I will be doing short and brief interviews, but I want to take an opportunity to meet each one of you. I want to speak with you. I want to hear about your spiritual journey. I want to share with you a little bit more about this workshop, and I want to be sure that this workshop is for you. I want you to be sure that this workshop is for you. So if you are interested, DM me, give me your name, your phone number, your email, and the best time to reach you and the best way to reach you. And I really look forward to working with you. This is a very potent time. The energies are immense, and the immensity of these energies are also that immensity, meaning how massive this energy is, and the intensity of it and the beauty of it is what we all have access to. So let's not waste our time, sisters, and miss out on this beautiful influx of energy. 12/21, the winter solstice is coming up. That is the end of the year. Celestially, cosmically, that is the end of the year, sisters. So that is another reason why this workshop is really important, because I really want you to get started on clearing out, these old obsolete energies that have been really holding you back and holding you down. I want to help you shift out of this dark night of the soul, out of the depression, out of these feelings of unworthiness. You know, I want to help you to step into your power. And these tools are going to uplift you immediately. Immediately. I mean, you can feel it instantly. And they're tools that you take home with you and that you use in your daily practice every single morning and every single evening. So I look forward to hearing from you. And also, sisters, I welcome your comments down below. I do my best to respond to you in a prompt way. And feel free to DM me with questions. But the main thing that I want to hear from you, if you DM me, is mainly, you know, for those of you who are really interested in the workshop and that have questions or comments, you know, and so, you know, I'll do my best to respond back to you and get your questions answered. Okay, so in the meantime, I just want to say I'm wishing you all a very powerful, magical, beautiful, beautiful day. Go sit out in nature. If you're having a hard time, if you're still, you know, feeling a lot of dense emotions that are plaguing you right now, go sit in nature. That is the best thing that you can do right now. If you can't move it, just go sit in nature. Mother Earth will help you heal. She will help you move your, oh, that was a mosquito. She will help you move these densified energies. You can sit by a body of water, a lake, a river, the ocean, of course, and sit at the foot of a tree. Okay, it's time for me to go. The mosquitoes are telling me it's time for you to let that end that video. So anyway, sisters, peace and love. I look forward to our continued connection. Okay.